Ciao ragazzi, bentornati. Sono Trisha da Trishasitaly. So I'm Trisha from Trishasitaly, and I'm here with my great Italian-American friend, Tony from Hack the Movies. How are you, Tony? Come stai?
Bien?
Ay, ay. Are you really Italian?
I am, but I didn't learn the language. I learned some of it. Ciao.
Ciao, exactly.
Okay, ciao. I know that part.
Bravissimo. All right, so we have to do some Italian lessons with Tony. So
yes.
We say ciao, Tony, come stai? Bene.
Bene.
Bene,
Okay.
perfetto,
Okay.
bravissimo.
I took 2 years of Spanish, and it's like the same thing, right?
It's very similar. But your dad is from Italy, right?
My dad is from Calabria.
Calabrese.
He reminded us many times growing up he was from Calabria. And it's like, all right, we get it.
Sure.
We get it.
Exactly. Every minute he could, he just inserted something Calabrese, right? Always.
Yeah.
We are going to talk about the movie Luca.
Luca.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if you know this, but I talk about movies a lot.
Tony, go check out Hack the Movies.
We're in Hack the Movies video right now.
This is the studio, Hack the Movies. If you like this studio, you should go check out his channel. They do amazing reviews of all types of movies.
Yes.
They're pretty funny too.
Yeah,
So.
we've done a couple Italian films too. You've helped me out with it. I'm a big fan of Italian cinema.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of the same Italian cinema
No.
I am, but this film I feel like is better than the movies we've watched before.
This is definitely better than the movies we've watched, because the movies that Tony makes me watch are horrendous. But you should still watch the reviews because
famous
they're funny.
filmmaker Bruno Mattei. You're gonna say he's bad.
Bruno Mattei, oh my god.
But yeah, let's talk about Luca.
Cruel Jaws. Yes, let's talk about Luca, please, by Pixar and Disney.
Yes.
Right? So now it's streaming on Disney+. My overall feeling about this movie, I was pretty excited when I heard
You
that
were
Luca
very
was coming out.
excited.
I was really excited. I mean, I love all things Italian,
Yeah.
right? I just talk your ear off about all things Italy all the
You
time.
do a lot.
Yeah, but maybe too much. But I think that this is like the movie of the summer.
Really?
I think so. Especially, I mean, for little kids, right? It's a little kid movie, but
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of adults who are really into Italian culture and Italian,
Yeah, that's the Pixar.
Cinema.
But like Pixar usually, and I have a review coming out for like Toy Story 2.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good at being like the ultimate family films. Like
Yeah.
they're meant for kids, but they're there to like please adults and teens. And
Yeah.
this definitely hit every single point.
Absolutely.
And of course, Disney and Pixar, they like experimenting with different like cultures now. Like they did Coco.
Yeah, which was good. Yeah.
And the Moana. And now we finally got one.
Finally.
I wasn't expecting Italians to get one. I was like, oh wow. Oh, we got one. Finally.
Finalmente, gli italiani sono importanti pure, no?
Sure.
Exactly. So I want to talk a little bit about this movie, what I liked about it, what I didn't like. We're going to just share some ideas. And I think that this is nice for, as you said, for older generations as well as the kids, like family oriented, because you see, especially when you start off with the opening scene, right? We have this music playing. The song is Un bacio a mezzanotte. It's like that stereotypical, 1950s opera-ish kind of like jam. And then we have these two older Italian men. And
yes.
I mean, we know that they're Italian because of the way that they're
they look like my uncles.
Right.
They
With
look
like the mustache.
every older Italian man I've ever known. They look like
very stereotypical.
I felt like looking at the future, really. I'm like, why could I just I have a terrible mustache though. I can't pull off just the
Yeah, just like that Italian
I really
bushiness.
You
didn't get the jeans.
I didn't get the jeans for a nice
jeans.
mustache.
Your mom's Irish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
those
that's
Irish jeans got to me.
Exactly.
They ruined my nice mustache.
Dang it. So it's very stereotypical with these older men who are speaking in Italian they're not speaking Italian, they're speaking English with an Italian accent. So they're kind of saying like, what they say? Like, that's amore like it. Like, okay, we get their Italian. Yeah, that's funny.
We probably could have listened. There probably is an Italian audio option for this movie we probably could have done.
Oh, yeah.
That probably would have made more
true.
sense, but then we just didn't do it.
I guess. Well, I think like a lot of people are going to watch it in English anyway.
Yeah, obviously,
yeah. So it's better to know like how they're portraying Italian-ness and Italian culture.
Yes.
So we have this other character, right, Luca, the main
Luca,
character.
who is a merman.
Yeah.
And we had to look up
merman.
like what's the deal with Italians and mermaids, because you weren't really unclear.
I wasn't really aware of like the whole merman
Yeah, we looked up like apparently it's big in Naples.
Yeah.
They had the origin of their like city they say is like from the sea or something.
Right. And I read something, it's like Naples is shaped like a mermaid or something, so they call it like the mermaid land. Or
mermaids are like a universal, I know a lot about mermaids.
Yeah.
Mermaids are like a universal phenomenon. Like every culture kind of has them. I think a lot of them were like just confusing dolphins and stuff, and they didn't know what they were, and they're like, yeah, I saw something in the water.
A beautiful woman. We were drunk on wine.
Yes. When you're at the sea, everything looks like a woman.
Exactly.
I had a fin. But yeah, I that was one thing with this movie. I didn't know Italians had like their own unique mermaid thing.
I know, exactly. Yeah. Which was pretty interesting. But I think it really ties in with the whole Liguria theme, because Liguria is on the Italian Riviera.
Okay.
Right? So it's like all seaside towns and everything. So,
right.
Which is cute. And then we get into the ocean where Luca is, and we have these fish that are buying.
Yeah, so the whole thing is like, so they're just basically another Italian. They're basically like the Italians of the sea.
Exactly.
They're there farming. They're farming fish, and the idea is that they're like, the fish are like sheep. How do we relay that to the audience? So then it just had the sheep. They had the fish just make sheep sounds. I'm like, that was a unique choice.
Right.
But yeah, I like that they're all like multicolorful. Which is, I don't know what fish are like in Italy. I assume you have colorful fish down there.
Yeah, of course. Sardinia. Go to Sardinia. You can see the fish all in the sea right there, and you don't have to dive deep. They're right there. Yeah. So it's awesome. One of the fish's name was La Gioconda, or actually it was Mona Lisa.
Right,
what I want to say.
Right.
Mona Lisa. But in Italian, Mona Lisa is actually called La Gioconda.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's not the only Da Vinci reference we find out later.
It's not, exactly.
So yeah, the movie is basically Luca wants to go above to the surface.
Right.
But he's basically Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Basically. And there's like a wrench in there too. Instead of like that fork that Ariel has, there's a wrench.
But he meets a friend, Alberto, who is a merman who goes to the surface.
Yeah.
They start hanging out up there, much to the chagrin of his parents. They want to live above.
Right.
And they become friends with a girl named Juliana and her dad.
Julia.
Yeah.
Julieta.
So they are literally, do you know the term fish out of water?
Yes.
It is a story trope where a character is thrust into a world they don't understand, and they are literally fish out of water.
Exactly.
There's a bad guy, and the whole thing is built around a race. Because if they win the race, they'll make money to get a Vespa.
Oh, a Vespa. Is that what they're after?
Yes, Vespa. Not just a scooter, specifically a Vespa.
Specifically an Italian Vespa.
And basically they're doing that while trying to keep their secret and trying to avoid their parents. And that's the general plot.
Yeah,
Without giving too much away.
Without giving too much away, because that's not what I want to do here. I want you guys to go watch the movie.
No, that's what I do on my channel.
Right.
We just tell you the whole movie.
Just tell you the whole thing.
And just talk about how great or awful it is.
Exactly. But as I was saying earlier, I think that there's a lot of stereotypes in this film, especially because it is set in the 1950s, right? Which is kind of like what we grasp.
It's one of those like it's one of those like kind of vague timelines. It's definitely older than 30 or 40 years ago. Yeah, because there's no cell phones or computers or anything.
But there's also a lot of references to the 50s too. Like you'll see.
Yeah, I would say it's safe to say this is the 50s.
They have like the Vespa posters and everything. They have the Marcello Mastroianni's photo you can find a couple times.
I didn't know who that was, and you're like, oh, I know that. But it was kind of weird. This is like a nitpick, but like. The humans in the movie are exaggerated, so whenever you see a picture of just a real person, they did it in WALL-E, where like the humans are all big and exaggerated. Then they had like a video of like a real human, and it's like, what? This is jarring.
This is weird. Who are those?
But I'm glad you told me who that was. Quick question.
Famous actor.
So there are other scooter companies in Italy, right?
There are others.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure.
There are others, I think.
We realized Vespa must have paid a ton of money for this movie, because it is they say the word Vespa 7,000 times.
They show the Vespa.
They show the Vespa a lot.
I think this is a Vespa movie.
Yeah.
Like,
is that one of the stereotypes?
Pretty much, actually. And then they have a poster of Vacanze Romane with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn, which they ride a Vespa through Rome.
I've never even heard of that movie. I like Gregory Peck too.
Oh my gosh. I think, is it called, what's it called? An American in Rome or something? I don't know. I think I'm making that up. I don't know the American version.
We'll look it up. We'll put the image.
We'll look it up.
Put the image.
There you go. So another thing is the accents in the movie. So the actors don't actually have, they don't have an Italian accent when they're speaking. They speak English with an American accent.
Yes, it comes and goes.
It comes and goes, right?
Yeah.
There's Luca, who knows some words in Italian. Alberto knows some words. And then we have Giulia, who is my favorite character. I love her, the redheaded little girl. Yeah. Which, by the way, did you know that redheads is actually a gene? It's a Sicilian gene. And it can also be found in the north. But a lot of Sicilians have red hair and pale skin.
I was gonna say, what's up with the red? It's weird how different cultures and stuff have redheads pop up. I knew a guy in college, and he if you saw him, you were to assume that he was just the most Irish guy in the world, but he was actually Albanian. He was super pale and redhead.
It's crazy.
I didn't know how many redheads were rocking about in Italy.
Yeah, and it's funny because that's another stereotype, right? You think of Italians, you think of Southern Italy, and Italians with dark hair, dark eyes, dark skin. Yeah. And then you get the redheads, and you're like, you're not Italian. You're not Sicilian. You're definitely not Sicilian.
Well, that's actually going against stereotype. So that's
true.
a point in his favor.
That's true, yes.
But don't worry, the bad guy in the movie, he's got the gelled back, slick back hair and the horrible mustache growing in, which I related to a lot. Teenage Tony knows all too well. And they make fun of it, too.
They do.
And I'm like, I've been there. I've been there.
Ercole. So his name is Ercole. He's the villain of the film, right? And I love how his name is Ercole because he's like Hercules, big and strong.
But he's not. He's like a real shrimpy dude. And Luca and the other guy, they also have Italian last names, right?
They do. They're very Italian, but they are fish related, right? So it's funny because you're like, aren't they fish related? So Paguro,
I assumed. I don't know Italian that well, but I'm like, I think those are fish names.
So Luca Paguro, which means hermit crab. So his last name, which kind of fits him, right? Because he's kind of like a little hermit, right? And he's kind of in his cage in the ocean. He can't leave, right? His parents are very strict, which is another point we'll get to. And Scorfano, so Alberto Scorfano is redfish.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure how that connects, but maybe.
I mean, it's just a fish name.
Redfish, I guess Portorosso, because Portorosso is the name of the town, which is a fictional town in Liguria that they created, but it is kind of like a mix of Monterosso and Portofino, which are actual towns in Liguria.
Yeah, the town is, I haven't been to Italy personally, but I've seen many movies filmed in Italy. Actual movies. Recently I saw Christopher Nolan's Tenet.
Okay.
Not a very good movie, but they shot in Italy, and the town they shot, physically in Italy, it looked like something out of this movie.
It reminds me of Aquaman, too.
Aquaman, right? Had a very, a coastal town like that. Yeah.
I forget where they shot Aquaman at, but it was probably in that area.
Yeah.
Oh, so Luca's parents. So Luca is a hermit crab, basically. Yeah. His parents are very strict. They're also very kind of stereotypical Italian, where the dad is like, it's fun, it's okay.
The dad has fins on his face that look like a mustache, which I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Oh, God.
We forgot to mention, when they go to the surface, they look like humans.
They do.
That was a big detail we forgot.
That was a huge detail.
That was a huge detail.
When the main point.
When they're not wet, they look like humans.
Yes.
But anyway, continue.
So his mom is also stereotypical in that she's like, where are you going? What time will you be back? Who are you going with? What are you doing? You can't do this. You can't leave the house. Ma che cazzo fai?
Yeah. I didn't have an Italian mom, but I knew Italian moms.
Exactly.
Yes.
Italian moms are like that.
Yeah.
Also stereotypical, but for the most part, most people can relate to that. But so when they get to the surface, they turn into actual humans.
Yes, which isn't explained. I want to point that out. It's never really explained why they turn into humans. There's a few things that are left up in the air in this one.
Yeah.
But we won't go into too much detail.
Yeah, I mean, it's a kid's film. They're not really thinking about it.
I was waiting for a backstory, long ago we lived together and then some went into the sea. But it's just never explained, they're mer people and then they look human.
Well, maybe they'll make a sequel.
Maybe they will.
And it'll be like a prequel. How did we get these powers? I don't know. Dolphin tears or something. That's another reference. Go check out our other video on Hack the Movie.
Yeah, on my Patreon, we reviewed We reviewed another Italian animated film that was nowhere near as good as this. But anyway, continue.
It's great. So then there's the Uncle Ugo, Zio Ugo.
Okay,
right?
I like him because he looks like I guess an anglerfish because he has the dangling light. But a lot of deep sea fish, they have bioluminescence, so they can like see and attract other fish. And then a lot of them, because they're like away from the sun and stuff, their skin is translucent.
Ugh.
And I love that they show him, like, you can just see his organs. At one point, his heart stops beating, and he's got to, like, punch his heart to get him back.
It's so weird. See,
he's my favorite character. He's barely in the movie, but he's my favorite character.
Don't forget to check out the ending credits, too, because then he...
Yes.
Well, we won't tell you. But that was funny. So the race that they have to do, right? Also stereotypical. A little bit. Yeah,
well, it's a triathlon, so you get like swimming. Yeah. That's the first one. The last one is a bike ride. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Now I've heard about triathlons. I've never participated in one, but I read what's his name? Lance Armstrong's autobiography. I had to read that for school, and he talked about triathlons. I've never heard one where you have to eat spaghetti in the second part of the triathlon.
Spaghetti al pesto too. Like just like so specific. Ligurian food, of course. But yeah, you have to eat the spaghetti really fast.
And then get on a bike.
And then get on a bike and like, I don't know. But it's funny how they didn't put the swimming after the eating because in Italy, that's a huge no-no. You cannot swim after you eat for 3 hours. And let me tell you, Italians never let me forget that. When I'm at the beach, if I have like a little
for 3 hours?
Piece of fruit or something, like all of my exes would be like, nah, like you're not going in the ocean.
What about
really?
What about isn't it usually like 30 minutes?
No, I mean, I think that's like the American thinking,
okay.
But like in Italy, they're just...
I don't know.
I
don't go to the beach much anymore. I'm not going to lie. I don't go to the pool or anything.
Right. In Italy, it's 3 hours and that's it. You can't go against that rule. We have a Pinocchio reference.
Which I felt embarrassed. Do I have Pinocchio here? No, I don't. I felt embarrassed. I went my whole life not realizing Pinocchio is like an Italian story.
Pinocchio.
And I should know because in Aquaman they go to Italy and they find a Pinocchio book. I had no idea. I had no idea this whole time Pinocchio was Italian.
So Italian, yeah.
So oblivious.
Geppetto, right? Geppetto.
Yeah, now that you say it, it makes a lot of sense.
Figaro is the cat's name, which there is a cat in this movie too, right? What's his name? Machiavelli.
Oh yeah, Machiavelli was the cat. I loved him.
Machiavelli.
He knows that Luca and Alberto. He knows that they're mermen. And he's
like attacking
constantly
them.
Like attacking.
He tries to like eat them. He's like, oh, fish, nice. Leonardo da Vinci makes a
right. Luca has multiple dream sequences.
Yeah.
Where he's like imagining the world, and when Julia. When Julia is showing like talking about like the stars in the sky, he imagines flying around, and he's flying in Da Vinci's flying machine, which had the wings of a bat.
Yeah.
By the way, when Bob Kane was coming up with the character Batman, and he wanted to give him a cape and fly, he remembered the quote from Da Vinci. He was like, it'll fly and it'll use the wings of a bat. So that's why Batman has. And actually, the horrible first design of Batman, which I'll show a picture of, it's awful. He's like a guy in like a red... He's like a blonde guy in a red sweater with like just a domino mask, but his wings look like the Da Vinci design for his flying machine. But
interesting.
So that was a heavy Da Vinci reference there.
It was.
And of course, I only knew it because of freaking Batman.
Of course. I think you were the one that pointed it out. I didn't even notice. You're like, oh, that's Da Vinci. So it's funny. So they're flying over that, and then they see like the Colosseum, which I think is the one in Verona, or I mean, there's like Colosseum or like arenas like all over Italy. Actually,
yeah, it was definitely not the Colosseum.
The Colosseum, right?
Because even by the 50s, that was kind of crumbling.
Right, exactly. So it's funny because in Italy there are a lot of arenas all over, and a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people think that the Colosseum is just in Rome, whereas there's actually a bunch. There's
I assumed there'd be a ton of them,
Verona, and then I'm sure up in.
Isn't how the Romans kind of bankrupted themselves? They were paying
probably.
They were paying so much money to get elephants to Italy, and then they just killed them in the arena and stuff, and they just ran out of money.
Oh God, I don't know that much about the history, but it's terrible.
I've seen Gladiator. I know it's not. I know it's not accurate, but I've seen Gladiator.
So when Luca has the dream sequences,
yes,
I really think they missed out on a really good opportunity to play the song Vespa 50 Special by Luna Pop.
Okay.
It's my favorite song.
Really?
And it's about Vespas.
That's your favorite song of all time?
No, not all the time.
Oh, okay.
No, maybe not all the time. You're right. But it's like it's a bop.
Yeah, I wonder why.
And it was a really good song, and they talk about like going through like the hills of Bologna, which I guess they're not in Bologna, but it was perfect.
It could have just been they weren't able to license it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So the Italian used in this film.
Yeah, you were very critical of the Italian used. I had no idea. The only Italian I ever hear is like when my dad yells at me, or if he's on the phone with like a relative. But keep in mind, like his accent has changed. Mm-hmm. So it's like Southern Italy now mixed with South Philly. So it's like a whole new accent.
It's a different language.
But yeah, tell me about the Italian in this.
So Ercole, right? This villain. First of all, he says a lot of bad things in Italian. And I'm like, this is a kid's movie. Why are you teaching kids? Like, you want to teach kids Italian in this movie, which is nice because they do throw in a lot of Italian words, which is cool.
Yeah.
But he's like, oh, idioti, oh, stupidi, oh, imbecille, like all of this stuff. I'm like, wow, that's a little...
What does he call the fat guy?
Oh, he calls him Ciccio, but Ciccio means fatty. And he, he's a little chubby. Yeah. But Ciccio can also be a nickname for Francesco. So it kind of works both ways. It's kind of like, you don't really know.
Well, look, as a member of the heavyset male community, I'm giving, what was the name?
Hercules.
I'm giving him a pass. He gets a fat person pass. There you go. You get a fat person insult pass.
There you go, Hercules.
I'm going to stamp your card. I'm going to give you the make fun of a fat person card.
Oh, I don't know. I thought it was bad. I mean, I get it if his name's Ciccio, but,
I mean, I've read worse things about me, so it's fine. Keep going.
Oh, gosh. And then the part when they're like, what do they say? What's wrong, you stupido?
Oh, yeah. I actually really like this. This is a common trope that happens in, like, fish out of water stories where, like, they hear something and they're not sure what it is, so they just repeat it.
What's wrong with you, stupido?
You do it now. Just say the thing.
What's wrong with you, stupido?
What's the other thing they say?
Piacere Girolamo Trombetta.
Which you looked up, and isn't it just like a greeting?
It's a greeting. I mean, I feel like it was a reference to something, but my brain is not working.
It might be a reference, but I think in the movie, I think it's just something the kid heard, and he didn't understand. Because he says at the end he doesn't know what it means.
Like, I don't know what that means. Humans just say it to each other.
Yeah, so he probably just heard it and was like, I'm just going to say this and pretend I know what it means.
I'm just going to pretend that this is what we do. So he says piacere, which piacere means nice to meet you.
Okay.
So, yeah. And Giulia has like all of her phrases, Santa Mozzarella, Santa Ricotta, Santa whatever it is, all the different cheeses.
It's Saint and then something with the cheese.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The only thing in the beginning she says Santa Pecorino. And I'm pretty sure she says Santa, which is wrong because Pecorino is actually masculine. Okay. So not Santa Pecorino, San Pecorino. But
what was her nickname?
That's fine. Giulietta.
Okay, and that's a nickname for Giuliana?
Yes. So, well, Giulia is her name, and then her dad calls her Giulietta, which means like little Giulia. It's like a little like nickname.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Giulietta.
I've heard names like that where they like, I've heard that
it's cute. I mean, most Italian names do like add on like a TA or an Ina or something like that, which means like, a little.
Is there one for Antonio?
I don't know.
I've never heard it.
No, I don't think so. Antonino.
Someone for Trisha?
Antonino. Trishalina. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Sounds like a dish. Oh my God, we got some Trishalina here. I'm making Trishalina tonight.
That. Reminds me of like Thumbelina. That was a good movie to see as a kid. And then some more stereotypes. We have Ercole who pours olive oil on Ciccio.
Okay, it's a stereotype because Italians love olive oil, obviously. But it was a funny gag because when he goes into the water for the swimming contest, like all the, what were they, anchovies or whatever, just start biting him. Like won't stop trying to bite him and he's just covered in fish. I know that was funny. I love that one.
It was cute though. But yeah, totally stereotypical. Like, take this olio di oliva. And then it's like just going really fast in the water. But then Luca has a scolapasta on his head.
Yes.
So what's it called in English? The colander, is that right?
Colander, I think that's it.
Right, the like pasta, the thing you pour the pasta out.
Yeah, the thing you do to strain pasta,
So he's like wearing the scolapasta and the water, it's raining, but he's not turning into a merman because the scolapasta is blocking his head.
Well, I think he like got to cover real quick before that.
Oh, okay. So he was like under the thing, right? Is that
yes. Until his friend came out and then everyone was cool with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, well, we won't get into all the details about this film, but I do want to say that I think that this is really cute. I think that Luca is an adorable movie. I think it's great that it's promoting Italian culture. I do think that, you know, it is kind of stereotypical. It's set in the 1950s, as, you know, everyone of Italian heritage always kind of revert back to Italy of like how it once was, and not really understanding that Italy is modern and it is completely modernizing, and it's, you know, an actual real life 2021 country and not set still in the 50s, but that's fine.
I mean, I haven't been there, so I'll take your word for it.
Right.
There's like you said, all my knowledge of Italy comes from my dad. Just the wonderful cinema you guys made.
Of course.
Yeah, not the cinema you're watching, but the cinema you guys made that I grew up with. And I followed the career of some of your politicians, and that's all we'll say about that.
We're not talking about that. This is not a political show. We're not getting into that. So I love the music in this film.
Yeah, tell me about the music, because I recognize like Figaro and a few other things.
So they do play like a lot of opera, a lot of like the stereotypical opera, of course, the Figaro, and then they have the first song, the Un bacio a mezzanotte. They have the other opera song that I can't remember the name, but it's like on the it's playing on the
it's one of those, like, I've heard this a million times.
You know the song, but you don't.
I have a quick question. So is in Italy in the past, did everyone used to sing to each other, and that's where operas came from, but then you guys all retired?
Yes.
That's a Seinfeld joke. They go to the opera, and Kramer's like, that's how they used to talk in Italy, Jerry. They would sing it. And then Jerry goes, why did they stop? And he goes, well, they retired.
That's why all Italians have good voices, though, so it's true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. You know I sing.
Yes, I know you sing.
I do.
I sing a karaoke, and to mixed results.
I love karaoke. We should go do a karaoke night, but only sing in Italian.
All right, good luck. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how to sing Total Eclipse of a Heart in Italian.
Are you kidding?
Oh, that's my favorite.
Oh my God, that's my favorite. Wait, I actually knew how to sing it in Italian.
I tear the house down when I do it that. But
we're
focusing on Luca.
Sorry. Okay, I just got really excited about that. Yeah, so I really enjoyed the film. I think everyone should go see Luca by Pixar and Disney Plus.
Yes, it's streaming for no extra cost on Disney Plus, thankfully.
Exactly.
Yeah, I usually don't watch a lot of Pixar stuff, but this was really thank God it wasn't a musical.
Yeah, I agree.
What is it? I saw that Moana.
Oh,
and it started off, I'm like, all right, it's good. And then they started singing. I'm like, I can't deal with kid musicals and like Frozen and stuff. But no, I really enjoy that. Again, not being a musical helps. It is nice to see Italians get front and center.
Exactly.
I mean, they're fish people, but I'll take it.
You'll take it, right? It's cute.
Quick question. I know you skipped over something, and it's a question I have.
Did I?
Espresso.
Oh.
Now, I've had espresso.
Yes.
You've had espresso.
I love espresso.
What is it? Is the espresso in Italy different? Why does it turn everyone into crazy, like, hyperactive people? Because that's never happened to me.
It's never really happened to me either.
Isn't that weird?
So, I don't know. I mean, I can have a cup of coffee and just go to sleep. Like,
yeah, no, I can
5
too.
minutes after,
I can
right?
Too. Yeah.
I mean, espresso in general is usually stronger because it's more concentrated.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why. And in the film, you'll see Luca and Alberto have some espresso.
Oh, yeah. They like freak out.
And they go crazy. They're like, oh my God, we're so high on espresso. What are we going to do? But yeah, no, I don't really. I could have like 5 espresso a day and I'm fine. I used to do that at work all the time. Just go to the bar.
That doesn't seem healthy, but.
No, probably not. But, you know, in Italy, there's.
But yeah, you're right. I really enjoyed this film. I guess it being Italian really helped me go get through it.
Yeah.
No, the characters are fun.
Yeah,
the little
cute.
They don't go too much into the mythology they have, but just enough to make it interesting.
Exactly.
I actually wouldn't mind a sequel to this to see more of this world. I really want to see more of those deep sea glow in the dark things.
Yeah, the anglerfish, the Zio Ugo.
Yeah, and see like where they came from and stuff. Oh, we forgot to mention there's a really good reference where you find out like the sea monsters have been affecting Italian culture. So they walk past a poster for a horror movie and it's his uncle on the poster monster. And they have no idea. But yeah, no, this is a really good, fun time. The cast is really good.
It is. I love the
Jim
cast.
Gaffigan, Maya Rudolph. Yeah.
So
Jacob
awesome.
Tremblay, who's in a ton of stuff. And then Alberto was the kid from It and Shazam.
Right.
Who looks very Italian. I don't know if he is, but he looks very Italian. But yeah, it's a solid film. And I'm glad I watched it with you.
Me too.
And I'm glad you... Oh, God. I'm glad you didn't hit the microphone like I hit it. I'm glad you brought me up to speed on everything Italian there.
Of course.
Yeah, I really wish I was more. I mean, I have the tracksuit.
You do. You look very Italian.
Very Italian.
Molto italiano.
I'm gonna go to
Tony.
Italy just wearing that.
Andiamo, dai. Andiamo in Italia. Tu ti metti questa cosa e a posto. Stiamo bene, stiamo a posto, no?
Exactly.
Okay. Perfect. Allora, grazie ragazzi. Thank you guys for checking out my channel, Trisha's Italy. And don't forget to check out Tony at Hack the Movies.
And if you came here from my channel, please subscribe here and like and follow her on everything else, please.
Grazie mille.
And if you have no idea who I am, like you said, check out because Trisha's been in a couple videos and
I've
she's
been
going
on
to
there.
be in some more videos.
And they're interesting. They're so much fun.
They're very interesting. Maybe,
They're very
maybe
interesting.
skip that Exorcist one, but the other ones are a lot of
The
fun.
other ones are good.
And that's all from me.
All right. Grazie. Ciao ragazzi. Thank you so much. Oh, I forgot. Wait, I wanted to say an ending.
Okay.
Ciao ragazzi, grazie di nuovo from Trisha's Italy. Go check out my TikTok and Instagram. I'm going to be posting some more videos, so don't forget to follow me on all social media. Grazie mille, a dopo.
When you're here, your family.